like introducing your children to what they don't even do. Your infant doesn't decide that he gets like he's gonna be because he's not gonna have that 4-year-old. You're going to kindergarten like because all the kids are gonna know him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's not gonna have a regular life anymore. He's gonna be so unrelatable. It's
just like a celebrity,
the average
like
person.
But it's like Jaden Smith. He's not gonna have a regular life.
You can't. I feel like you shouldn't really make that decision for him. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you should hide your kids or nothing, but you shouldn't make them like the main attraction to what you got going on because, first of all, then you're just really profiting off your child. But second of all, because they didn't get a chance to make that decision. It's not like you have to wait till 18 before you put your kid. They should just be like, they should be like old enough to be like.
Did your mom ask you if you want to go to school?
It's not the same thing. Because online, there's consequences to being popular online. Everyone goes to school.
But I mean, even if they didn't be on videos, they're going to always be known. Like their parents, they're going to know who they are. They're not going to have a regular life regardless.
They might be like, oh, that's Kevin Hart's daughter. Like, for you don't. That association's always gonna be there if you're the father or the mother.
But and like popular. Kevin Hart is not gonna put his daughter in no public school. They're gonna be in a situation where they're around people that are like them or are top 10%.
But still though,
where it won't even matter.
You're living a life that's not even remotely relatable to not even just the average person, but just your peers around you. And I feel like there's some situations where that's like fine. Like I think what DJ Khaled does is not just fine. I think it's fantastic.
What does he do?
He really celebrates his children. He puts them on the cover of all his albums. When you go to his Instagram or back when I was on Snapchat,
can't be normal. He can't go to public school.
Without a doubt, I don't think
he also gives them credit too. So they actually have credit on that.
Yeah. Albums. He's like
so Beyonce did that.
He's celebrating fatherhood and his kids. But he can make music without them. There's people that rely on their kids for content. That's in my opinion. When you I don't watch none of these channels, so I don't know how.
I'm not saying, but I agree. When you rely or when they're the main focus, I agree. If they're just side characters or you just show them every now and then it is what it is. I think because some people feel like the Ace family teeters on that a little bit too, where they may get to the point where it's just like they're introducing a new character to the whole thing.
Yeah, they're Ace. That's a channel, Ace family. If you have a family channel, I mean, what else are they supposed to do? I mean, like if they have
some of the videos do teeter, and I've seen people break down their content before, and some of it does.
You got to incorporate them teeters.
Though. However, this is what I'm trying to say though. I've heard people who have straight up said, use your kids and put them to work and like that whole concept. Like I've verbatim heard YouTubers say
it's not
that.
Like the thing is the way I think about it is as a parent you're gonna have fun with your kid regardless. And the thing about this. Everybody has their own job. Some people are firefighters. Some people do this. Bring your kid to work day. If you're a YouTuber, my job is video creating. And we're going to do fun stuff as a kid. We're going to do stuff that a normal kid wouldn't do that's fun. I just have to record it so I can afford to do these fun stuff you enjoy to do.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like Agent is saying like
who?
Like
give me an example of someone that just blatantly use their kids.
Ryan's toy reviews. That kid that's making like $40 million a year reviewing toys. That kid right there is never gonna have a regular life in his life. The thought of regular doesn't exist to him.
I feel like that
from
kid,
the age of from the age of from the age of 5, he's been reviewing Hot Wheels and shit. And so every kindergartner in the world is gonna know who he is. How you make friends then? How do you learn social interaction?
But to be honest with you, I even think that's a slight different. Probably what you about to say. It's like with children actors from years ago.
Like what about Disney stars when they come out? Like Charlie, good luck Charlie. She wasn't even talking, and now she's not a regular kid. And now they don't mean they're gonna keep that up.
I get it, but I guess like the level of fame really makes it. Like if you're on some sci-fi show like The Network, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in the next Avengers movie, that's a whole nother thing. Ryan's Toys Review was the top earner in a year. Yeah. You know what? Do you think he made the decision to be a top runner? His family was in there making that decision for him. I feel and it's like to a certain extent, like who's gonna pass up the opportunity to make 40?
That goes for child actors.
That goes for everything. Child actors, like when you're a kid, you don't just come out and say I want to.
All right, now check this.
It was sports.
When you're
same thing with sports.
When you're a child actor, there's legislation to protect you. Right, as a child, but as a person who doesn't know how to make their own decisions yet,
it's the same.
There's no laws
thing.
right now saying you can't. There's nothing to protect.
Whoever, what's his name? That do the toy things. What's his name?
Ryan.
His parents were just really smart. They think about
Geniuses
this
in terms of making money.
I'm gonna buy my kid toys anyway, And I just want to know if you enjoy the toys. Now they figure out, okay, I'm gonna record him and get his reaction. He gets unlimited toys. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. He gets exclusive stuff.
John, I'm not saying his parents are dumb. You can't be dumb and have a kid that makes 40 million a year. You're saying they're using him. That's what it is.
How?
Because if they were on camera, it wouldn't pull no views. It's the fact that he's a child on camera that's pulling views.
But I agree, it's still using him. But the point I'm agreeing with you is that shit's been happening before. Even though if you're saying there's laws that's set in place, niggas was getting like there's multiple stories about how the Jacksons were getting their ass beat by their father.
I can see that.
They were getting pushed like that
because they don't want to do it.
Yeah, they legit didn't want to do it, and their father was beating them.
That's different. That's not good. But I see a kid. If you ask a kid, hey, you want these toys or none of that? Oh, I want to play with toys and everything like that, and is making money. It's not like I'm forcing my kid to play with toys on camera. It's like, we're gonna do this. You're gonna get what you want. Hey, companies.
No, but here's the thing I'm saying. If you're a kid, in almost every situation, you can choose the one where you have infinite toys, right?
Right.
But I'm just saying, now.
How old is he now?
I don't know, 10.
A child's like, this is not a complicated equation.
Yeah, so like if you're a 6-year-old then, but now you're 10. But as you get older, your parents are telling you.
I agree with both of y'all.
He done reached the point like you're his parents, he's a kid, you record funds that's fun. You know what I'm saying? You know kids record videos, you put them on Facebook, it starts blowing. You're like, okay, but now he's the next thing.
It's not as innocent as you making
keep bringing up this origin story. There's no origin. They didn't just discover YouTube. This is a calculated effort, like
now parents doing that every day now.
I know, but it's not as innocent as you make it seem, because I'm pretty sure there are moments where
I feel like back then is more innocent than it is now. No, now parents just throwing their kids on Instagram now for whatever, trying to get them blow up.
Maybe been slightly more innocent, but it still was innocent. Every day, I'm pretty sure that nigga didn't want to get on camera and just start playing and was like had those exact same reactions.
A child like that needs he needs therapy, a lot of it, because he's not gonna learn social skills, because growing up, everybody's gonna want. We don't know. Hold on, everyone's gonna want to be his friend, so he won't have to learn skills that make him like a better social interactor. So he's gonna have to work through that. He's gonna have to work through.
That's everybody that started off privileged.
But John, there's a big difference between privilege and 40 million a year privilege.
I know, but no, different leagues. I'm agreeing with you, because that's basically the fucking Jacksons. That's how Michael Jackson's career was. So I'm agreeing with both of y'all. The point I'm really making is that on the flip side, where I think is just egregiously bad is when there were YouTubers who were making money and they start falling off, and the way that they build back up their career was by just thrusting their children in content. To me, that's even
different.
Worse. Because some people say that the Ace family do that.
Which family was it where they started beating their kids when they wasn't acting right? Which family was
that? That was also...
Was that happened like 2 years ago?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
I don't know who that was, but
they
that's
got
not cool.
banned from YouTube, I remember.
Yes, that's not cool. That's different. But I'm playing as a kid.
But they were also the same as well, because the father had a channel, he was making content, but he wasn't actually getting real views until there was this whole dynamic between him and his family, how he punished his kids and made fun of them, and then people in the comments saying, "Yeah, Junior really deserved that," and that was like the breed of people that they were bringing along, and that is what I'm referencing, where the whole concept of the content is solely around just strictly children, not toy reviews, not Michael Jackson and his ability to sing, and from that grows this toxic environment or this toxic upbringing that makes you so disconnected from reality that you do need therapy, that you do need to be talked about. I'm talking about the reason why I'm watching it is strictly because the kids.
If I say this, right, so will this make me a bad parent if I say something like this? Say my kid is young, he at a young age, and it's like, hey, you can record these toys. You'll get not unlimited, but you get a good amount of toys, and you're making money. Or you gotta do chores around the house, and you gotta do the kids gonna pick. I'm not gonna force them, but that making me a bad parent that's giving them a very biased ultimatum.
I understand what you're saying,
because it's money to be made, and as a parent, I'm like, I can spend more time.
How old are they?
Let's say a good age. Let's say 6.
I don't think no 6-year-old should be introduced to the concept.
But you put them into
the concept of fucking money.
You sound like why does a kid? Wait, hold on. You making kids pass on and hit? 6-year-old making career decisions, bro?
You make a kid play football or make them play basketball.
I don't make my kid.
You don't have a kid, but I'm saying here's what I'm gonna do, bro. I'm just involved in sports.
I think them niggas is wild too for making the kids play football.
That's what I'm saying. No kid has a real option when the parents just kind of force them to do stuff and see what they like. and then whatever they like, they grow up to do.
Why did you know that's stop using absolutes? Plenty of kids have options.
But I also saying
most black kids don't have options. I'm not gonna lie.
But here's a different. But again,
I got thrown into sports. I didn't have no. It wasn't like, hey, John, you want to do it? You just say yes as a kid. Your parents, you want to play basketball this year? Look, you can play Here's a basketball. I didn't say no.
I understand what you're saying, John, but the difference here's a major difference. You playing football for a Pee Wee league is just you. The concept of that at a young age is for you to understand structure.
I'm not talking about.
It's you to understand, but that's what it's for. You to understand structure.
If I can understand that, I'm gonna teach my kid how to start doing stuff to make them long term.
No, but the difference is that's the core of children playing sports at a young age.
If you can understand football, you can understand other stuff.
No, me giving my child a fucking career path at 6.
That's a great plan.
So he can make millions of dollars. There's not a child.
That's a terrible idea.
Yes, because children should not be introduced to $1 million resources at 6 years old because they're grown adults who don't even understand the concept of money today.
Okay, $1 million, that's a little excessive, but I'm saying
that's what we're referencing.
How many 20-year-old men do you know that you've talked to in the last week that if they just came across $10 million, they wouldn't fucking spend it all on chains and cars and shit? Those are grown adults. What do you think a kid is going to do with the money?
But the kid is not controlling the money. It's the parents.
And so that's the other problem.
But the kid can't control it, though.
Because there's so many child athletes and child stars who couldn't touch their money till they were 18, and by the time they were 18, the money was fucking gone because, again, even adults don't thoroughly understand the concept of money, especially to the degree that we're talking about.
So if I realize my son has an ability or a blessing to make a lot of money, and that's just bad parenting. That's bad parenting.
You're lying to yourself.
What is the ability?
Yeah, what's the ability? You said the ability. I'm saying 4, like, oh, that nigga really play on them Hot Wheels.
But I'm saying, but look. But as a YouTuber or as what I'm doing now, my mind is different. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, I'm realizing now everybody parent is different.
No, John,
you're gonna see different stuff in your kids.
Stop talking innocently. We know what it is.
I'm not talking innocently. I'm saying
this is what it should be like. You should give your child an opportunity to experiment with what the fuck he or she enjoys.
How are you gonna experiment without me making them experiment?
Excuse me? Growing up,
what you mean?
Growing up, I go biking and I think to myself, I wouldn't want to do.
Who made you go biking?
Nobody made me.
I'm saying, like, you at 6 you said bike. Your parents have to introduce you to stuff to see if you like it or not.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making.
What do you? That's the point I'm making.
If my dad obviously would have preferred,
how are we making the same point?
My dad would have preferred for me to play soccer, obviously, because he's from Ethiopia and the whole fucking country sits there and plays soccer. Right. Just so happened, I enjoy basketball, and they ain't like the fact that I really wanted to be an NBA player growing up. So they was telling me just read books because that's how they knew how to get out. But the point I'm making,
what'd you do?
I read fucking books.
So you did what they said.
I did what I needed to do to
get
to
university. So did they beat you to read books, or they just advised you it would be a good idea in the future for you to read books?
Ninth grade, I realized I was 5'11", bro. Shit wasn't happening.
I mean, yeah, you're at ninth grade. If you,
but here's John.
You're old as hell. It's too late now.
So throughout high school, though, I tried shit. Right. I went to film competitions and I tried acting and improv, and I tried should I be a pilot? I was into VFX and animation.
See, at that point, high school, you're not a kid no more. You got to start getting your life together. Sophomore year, that's when they start having career paths. It's too late then. You about to be an adult.
Both of y'all are making.
You're not a kid in high school,
huh? You're about to be an adult, bro.
But both of y'all are making points.
If you can drive a car in high school, you're not a kid no more.